Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, yes. The live stream started, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. You can keep Swami's photo and you can also share the poster also. Great. Sailaja, you can allow the participants also. And participants are entering, kindly allow them, okay? You would admit them. I'll be back in next 5 minutes. In the meanwhile, I'll be checking the YouTube live. Okay. Ms. Sailaja, only allow the limited participants to the meeting room, and we are also going for YouTube live, right? So we are only allowing the limited participants to the meeting. His live is going on perfect. Yes.
We'll start the session now.
Yes, sir. We can start the
Yes, sir.
session. Yes,
Thank
yes, yes, yes. We can start.
Thank
Some
you.
participants will be joining later, so
Thank you.
begin the
Thank
session
you.
shortly by
Yeah.
5. Yes, you
Can
can
put
begin.
me on spotlight after we
Yes, sir.
start.
Yes. Sir, you can switch on your video and audio. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Video is seen now.
Welcome you, sir. Welcome
Thank
you.
you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Very happy to welcome you for today's session. It's my immense pleasure to have you
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek.
in our national webinar on Swami Vivekananda and youth empowerment and constitutional values. Very happy, and I welcome you. A warm welcome
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation immediately. And in the midst of your busy schedule, thank you for joining with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek.
And I welcome the participants across India and across the world to the national webinar on Swami Vivekananda, the Swami Vivekananda's views on the youth empowerment and the constitutional values. Really, I first of all, I pay my tributes to the monk of Bharat, Swami Vivekananda, in this auspicious occasion before beginning the session. So it gives me immense pleasure that Satyakumar sir is the right person I preferred. I choiced. He is the right person to address this national webinar, which is a tribute to Swami Vivekananda. So when Swami Vivekananda teachings, his life, and then the values of Swami Vivekananda is a great message to young generations, especially to the youths of Bharat. Swami Vivekananda's views on nationalism, Swami Vivekananda's views on constitutional values, Swami Vivekananda's views on youth empowerment, Swami Vivekananda's views on various things, the upliftment of poor people, the education, and then his views on the livelihood and his principles have inspired millions across the world. Even now, it is inspiring many people, especially the youngsters. For example, the notable inspired achievers of Swami's words are Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Even Satyakumar sir is one of the good model who is the inspiration, who got the inspiration from Swami Vivekananda and reached such a great level today. So I congratulate him on becoming an advocate at the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. First of all, it's my wishes to him. So first of all, before beginning the session. So when I discuss about Swami Vivekananda, we cannot segregate youth and Swami Vivekananda. Because Swami Vivekananda's teachings especially inspired millions of youths across the world and across India. So this webinar is dedicated to Swami Vivekananda. And in this webinar, our keynote speaker and chief guest, Advocate Satyakumar sir, will be briefing about Swami Vivekananda's views on constitutional values and Swami Vivekananda's views on the youth empowerment. What are the contributions he has done? What are his views on the constitutional values and the youth empowerment? It will be briefed by Advocate Satyakumar sir. So now I would like to read the profile of our distinguished eminent chief guest, Advocate Satyakumar sir. So Advocate Satyakumar sir is running an academy, a tycoon academy. I always see him as a model, a role model to many young generations. He is motivating a lot of students through his tycoon academy. He is educating many students who are aspirants of CA, who are aspirants of CS, and who are aspirants to achieve great in their life. Sir is providing this valuable service in an affordable cost, very less cost. Such a kind of a social service minded personality. And Sir is inspired by Swami Vivekananda, and he himself is like a modern Swami Vivekananda. I used to say this to many people. And he has done lot of achievements, lot of progress, lot of academical accomplishments and credentials he has. Now I will read his academical qualifications, what he has done. He is a LLB, recently graduated LLB, and he is the ACA, ACMA, ACS, CIMA, ACMA, UK, and the CGMA, US. And now he has enrolled as an advocate at the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and he is an advocate practicing at the Madras High Court. And through his Tycoon Academy, he has changed the life of many young students. And even now, he is motivating and delivering motivational speeches at many institutions. And he is a great economist, and he is a great, analyst in economics, finance, and then taxation. So in such a way, I always see Satyakumar sir as a Uttama Vidyarthi, a great personality, a divine soul, who has dedicated his life for the common cause, who has dedicated his life for the social service, who has dedicated his life to educate many students and to inspire budding young generations. In such a way, I take honor and immense pleasure and a profound privilege to welcome him as a chief guest and speaker to this wonderful event. So through this event, Sir will be reaching many students, many young generations, especially the students of the legal fraternity. I always believe the nationalism, India's ethnicity, India's culture, India's spiritualism, and the entire India's idea of India is more and more important. So in such a way, Swami Vivekananda is a torch bearer of all these things. So today, we pay tribute to Swami Vivekananda through this national webinar. I warmly welcome you, sir. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining
Thank you,
us.
Abhishek.
Thank you so much. So now I would like to request our keynote speaker and our distinguished chief guest to deliver his address on the topic. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek. It's a wonderful introduction by you. And I take the honor and the privilege to address this program. Indeed, when Abhishek invited me for the program, just a second, Abhishek, I'll adjust my lens, my video lens.
Yes.
Just a second. Am I clear to, I'm audible to everyone?
Yes,
I
sir.
was-
Yes, you're audible, sir. Yes, yes, you're audible.
Thank you. I thank my good friend Abhishek for inviting me for this wonderful program of on the topic Swami Vivekananda and youth empowerment. Of course, with the touching base on the constitutional values. Is it okay if we can go for a video view, gallery view, so that I can see the audience and speak, Abhishek?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm unable to get you, sir.
Can we go for a gallery view so that I can see the participants and speak?
Yes, yes, yes. Please put up in gallery view. Host, kindly put sir on the gallery view, the session on gallery view. Yes.
So everybody can see.
Yes, yes, yes. Please put on the gallery view, host.
Yeah, thank you. And I request everybody was joined to come on video because most of them are my familiar faces.
Yes,
and,
please, all the students, please come on the video. It's my humble request.
Thank you. Thank you. So that we can have a wonderful interactive session. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Abhishek, first of all, for inviting for this wonderful program. You are one of the promising youth. We'll go places in the days to come. And I'm very happy to address you and your friends who are in part of this organizing this program. And I'm very happy. I'm continuously associated with the School of Excellence in Law in many ways. And I'm very happy to see that youngsters are getting inspired by the legal profession and they're all here to bring a transformation. Very, very important. In fact, when I qualified as a chartered accountant, my entire heart was actually on the legal profession. At that time when I was in higher secondary, I really wanted to do law directly, immediately. But I wanted to complete one of the challenging and tough professional courses in the world. So I took up Chartered Accountancy, Cost and Company Secretary. I eventually qualified. And I also became the Royal Chartered Member of the SEMA, which is another tough qualification in the entire world. Chartered Institute of Management Accountant in UK and CGMA US. But I found that my passion always lied in the law profession. But if you see, even though I would have entered the advocate profession recently, but I've always been an advocate kind of a work I was doing with respect to taxation and commercial contracts, on international taxation, transfer pricing, policy work with the government of India, and some of the inputs to the Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. It was almost the work of a policymaker with a law mind. Because whenever you are advising the government, it is very important, not just you should give the advice to the government, you should also provide inputs, how to implement the respective policies by working with the ideas that are provided in the Constitution along with the respective administrative law. That is very, very important. So considering all these exposures I have, I've consolidated now into a law profession. I really enjoy every day working with the client's issues. And I'm very sure that youngsters who are all there as part of this program You're all going to become torch bearers of the legal profession. And you're all young. It is very important to choose some of the innovative areas, which requires more attention from all of you. There are niche areas which are coming up for the law profession. So understanding this, it's very much important to get inspired on some personality. And this kind of lectures, especially on Swami Vivekananda, will make sure that you identify the purpose for what you are living. Very, very important. Swami Vivekananda is just not image or kind of a god people worship. Please understand. I don't worship Swami Vivekananda. We have to live Vivekananda. That's very, very important. Whether you are a theist or an atheist, doesn't matter when it comes to Vivekananda. He caters to both of them. You are a theist or an atheist, you may belong to any religion. You belong to any religion in any part of the world. Vivekananda makes sense to everyone because he's a global icon. And Swami's ideas were so transformational. He thought, whatever the ideas he gave, it is ahead of the term those times. And in fact, in 1893, when he went and spoke in the World Religion of the Parliament, the ideas that he shared are those ideas which are really, really working now in the 21st century. He has said that his ideas, what he provided at the point of time, Swami Vivekananda means, what it means for me is courage, conviction, and confidence. Courage, conviction, and confidence. Instead of making Swami Vivekananda as your God, it is very important you should make him as your friend and philosopher and mentor and guide. His spirit will work with you. Very, very important. So yeah, as a youngster, what you should understand from Swami Vivekananda, once you read Swami Vivekananda, once you understand the quotations of Swami Vivekananda, electric shocks will go in your nervous system to an extent where there is a transformation that can happen in the way you see the world and the world at large. And if you want to really contribute to the world at large and the public at large as a social transformational work, it is very important to actually learn the philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. And when I say philosophy of Swami Vivekananda, how do you approach Swami Vivekananda? Very, very important. Nobody reads 7 volumes of Swami Vivekananda to actually accept Swami Vivekananda or to be inspired by Vivekananda. Everybody starts with one quotation of Swami Vivekananda. What inspires the youth of this, what inspires is the energy that Swami Vivekananda provides. Arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached, is the idea provided by Swami Vivekananda. It means different to different people, different meaning to different people. For a person who is economically not doing well, arise awake, stop not till the goal. Arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached means that he can become a billionaire and a millionaire. For someone who has money but he wants to pursue the passion, arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached will mean the passion to that person. Somebody is in the legal profession, arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached could be the vision he has in the profession. Somebody who is a political leader who is trying to observe Swami Vivekananda's ideas could be about bringing transformation to the people at large. Somebody who is working on the social sector, the arise awake, stop not till the goal is reached means to transform the people's life. My dear friends, Vivekananda will provide ideas which is 360 degree, very, very important. And please understand, he is relevant not only to the child who is in 5th standard, but also to the leader who is the prime minister of this nation or the president of this country. So his ideas can touch from a child to the head of the executive, head of the judiciary, and head of the legislative as well. Why? The parliament sometimes functions with the ideas of Swami Vivekananda. In parliament, the voices of Swami Vivekananda is there. In parliament, the quotations of Swami Vivekananda is there. He is more relevant today than he was in 19th century and 20th century. 20th century, my dear friends. 21st century is a 10th century for the youth of this country. Very, very important. We have about 65% of youth today. And what we need is not just youth empowerment. Youth empowerment happens through education. Youth empowerment happens through employment, skill development. What we need today in this country, youth-led development. Youth-led development. That's where I see the youngsters of legal profession who could be a torch bearers of the vision of youth-led development. You empower somebody. What does he do with that? Very, very important. Youth-led development is very, very important. Swamiji always said, he always said categorically, strength is life and weakness is death. Strength is life and weakness is death. Strength, what is the strength he's talking about? Is he talking about the character? Is he talking about the courage? Is he talking about the confidence? What Swamiji speaks about as a strength is identifying your purpose of your life. Identifying your purpose of your life. That is the core strength what Swamiji says. He is not talking about conditioning you. He does not talk about what is right, what is bad. He does not say you need to be a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. Please understand. Swami Vivekananda himself has been very vocal and he said, don't bring religion into the kitchen. Very, very important. Don't bring religion into the kitchen. He categorically said this when he actually spoke in various platforms. Don't bring religion into the kitchen. Religion means any religion. Do not talk about this purity and sanctity with the food that a person consumes. Because purity and sanctity is not the sole, nobody is the sole owner of the purity and sanctity. What is purity and sanctity varies from subject to subject. India is a multicultural organization. Very, very important. You must understand this. All the messages of Swami Vivekananda leads to inclusivity. Leads to inclusivity. Today, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji or the Chief Minister of the state of Tamil Nadu, the former Chief Ministers of the state of Tamil Nadu or any of the Chief Ministers today talk about working for the social welfare of the people in this country. But Swami Vivekananda spoke about it when the Britishers were in this nation. He gave a clarion call to the youth of this nation. He gave a clarion call to the legislators. He gave a clarion call to the women of this nation to arise awake. That was a clarion call. Arise awake. That was a clarion call. Vidumin elumin. That is the idea of what Swamiji said. So, considering these things, Swamiji said about what he said, the gist of the message he gave. India, when it gets independence, it is very important that we should get away with the social evil. Dr. Bharat Ratna, Baba Sahib, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has worked relentlessly on our constitution of our country. You all know better. You are all from the legal profession. When B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar worked on the ideas of social justice. In fact, the ideas of Swami Vivekananda inspired him along with the ideas of Lord Buddha. Very, very important. And Swami Vivekananda was also a follower of Buddha at the end of his, before he attained Mahasamadhi. If you go to his room in Belur Math, the room where he stayed, you can see the Buddha statue in his room. And Swamiji has spoken great things about Buddha, and Buddha's Dhamma was the guiding force of the Constitution of India. Because justice, equality, liberty, fraternity forms part of the preamble of the Constitution. Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity forms part of the Constitution of India. That's a core idea what Swamiji spoke. He gave the clarion call. He was like roaring like a lion across the nation for the four important things: justice, equality, liberty, and fraternity. That is the basis of our Constitution of India, my dear friends. And Swami Vivekananda was always inspired by US, America. He always said spiritual education plus material education, both are important. He was very clear, West and the East should come together. He never preached on fanaticism. Swami Vivekananda never ever preached on fanaticism, on any ideas. He said, not just tolerate other religions, but he said, accept every religion. Accept every religion. Today, the fundamental problem that's happening around the world, if you see, people are polarizing using the religion. There are many ways a political leader can polarize. But the most important thing to be noted, religion should not be used as the basis for polarization. It could cause disaster because Swamiji said very clearly, we should not be fanatic. We should not be fanatic. That fanaticism at any cost, the fanaticism will lead to bigotry. Very, very important. You must understand that. And on September 11, 1893, Swamiji gave a clarion call in the World Religion of Parliament, where he spoke before 4,000 people. Before the speech, nobody knew who Swami Vivekananda was. After a 3-minute speech, 4,000 people stood up, they clapped hands, and everybody celebrated the speech of Swami Vivekananda. That was the day the dignity of India was raised in the international platform, my dear friends. The dignity of India, the Mother India, the dignity of the Mother India was the message what Swamiji spoke. I would like to quote that speech. I would like to quote that speech because this is a fundamental thing based on which the entire idea of the youth should revolve around. Swami Vivekananda was born in 12 January 1863. In fact, how many of them know? I don't know. His father was a lawyer. Vishwanath Datta was a lawyer. One of the prominent lawyers in Calcutta at that point of time. And for some time, even Swami Vivekananda was working in a law firm to actually, he wanted to become a lawyer. That was his ambition actually. Because he thought law profession could be used as a model to actually transform the people's life. But later point of time, because of the enlightenment, because of, he wants to explore, go on Parivirajika, to go around the nation, around the world. He ensured that he actually is not cut out for the law profession. And later, he moved to explore, to understand who he is, what is his real passion, and that he could pursue. He was born in 12 January 1863. Today, Indian government is celebrating 12 January as Youth Day to inspire all the youths around the world. Very, very important. That is a very, very important day. And I would like to quote the speech of Swami Vivekananda, which he gave as a response to welcome in the World Religion of Parliament. In the World Religion of Parliament on September 11, 1893. It is almost 126 years before. He spoke on September 11, 1893. If you see what he spoke at a relevance, what he spoke as a relevance, he said, sisters and brothers of America, sisters and brothers of America. When he uttered this word, people stood up and clapped, and only then Swami Vivekananda started speaking. People were awaiting to see what Swami Vivekananda was supposed to, what Vivekananda was supposed to speak, what Vivekananda wants to speak. Then he said, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to raise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I thank in the name of the most ancient order of monks in the world. I thank you in the name of the mother of religions, and I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. Very important in the first paragraph. He did not represent the elite class of India. He says he represents all classes and sects of India. Very important. He was the first to speak about the inclusion of this nation in an international platform, my dear friends. He was not representative of anybody. He was not the representative of the upper. He was not the representative of the middle or the lower. He was the representative as per that time, whatever that time when he was speaking, you know what was the system at that point of time. We had Varna system, we had so many social evils prevailing in our country. At that point of time, Swami Vivekananda spoke about the idea of oneness. He said very clearly by saying, I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. Very, very important. All classes and sects, very, very important, because he represented not one, but he represented oneness. I hope you can understand. My dear friends, this is the philosophy which attracted me to Swami Vivekananda. We are all one. When you are born, we are all one. I am not created with the gold in my brain, or neither I am created with the clay in my head. Everybody has the potential to raise to the level, to the potential, to the God, what potential the God has created us. This inspired me because I wanted to ensure that everybody is lifted. Inclusiveness is very, very important. Today, the policy of the government is about sabka saath, sabka vikas. But this inspired me when I was in school. When there was a discrimination in my school, when there was a discrimination in the society, what gave me confidence is Swami Vivekananda. The ideas of Swami Vivekananda. He said very clearly, education only can lift you. Education is the manifestation of perfection already within you. Today, I'm standing tall in the society because of the pursuit of education. Many asked me a question. If Swami Vivekananda would not have been there, what would have been? I would have been an atheist. But because of Swami Vivekananda, I remained in Indian system. So, my dear friends, it is what Swami Vivekananda provided. He gave me confidence, he gave me courage, he gave me conviction on my ideas. He never conditioned me. I love him because he never conditioned me. He never spoke that you can only reach the God by praying. He said, service to the mankind is a service to the God. That is the motto of Ramakrishna Mission and Ramakrishna Mutt. If I can raise, if you can raise because of Vivekananda, we can raise together with using Vivekananda as a philosophy. For me, India is Vivekananda. For me, India is Vivekananda. For me, the global idea is Vivekananda. the ideas of philosophy, philosophical backing is very, very important. That's the reason I told a person who asked me, if Swami Vivekananda was not introduced to me, I would have been an atheist, preferred to be an atheist. Please understand. I would have been an unconditional atheist. And I would have been unconditional. Today, I'm an unconditional believer on myself because of Swami Vivekananda. Because of Swami Vivekananda. I'm sure that each of you require this nutrition from Swami Vivekananda. Don't take his photographs, make him a god, but make him your friend, make him your mentor, make him a philosopher, make him as a guiding light to transform the humanity at large, to contribute. In fact, my ideas on wealth creation changed when I read Swami Vivekananda. People talk about creating wealth. Creating wealth is about you contributing to the society. More you contribute to the society, more you work with the society will automatically attract to you. The law of attraction will work, and automatically you are going to create wealth. Why do you complicate? That is the point. So you have to become a personality who will like you, who will come to you, who will get attracted to you, wherein you will be a solution provider and not the problem creator. I would like all the students of the legal profession should become the doyens, should become powerful people. I want you to raise to be a powerful people in the days to come by taking only one simple idea in mind. You will become a contributor, you will become a problem solver, solution provider, and not the problem creator. I'm sure if you do this, law of attraction will play a role, and you will raise to be a leader in this nation, not just an ordinary person. Sure, you take it today as a clarion call from me. This is what Swami Vivekananda gave to all of us. Become a contributor. You contribute more, you are going to attract more wealth. You contribute more for the success of the client, you are going to be referred with 10 clients. You contribute yourself, your time for the purpose of your education, you are going to acquire educational wealth. A simple philosophy of contribution is the idea of Swami Vivekananda. Is the idea of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda never said don't accumulate wealth. Don't accumulate wealth. In fact, he said, you are not the owner of the wealth, you are the trustees of the wealth. It will pass on forever. What is there with you, it will go to somebody else. But until you are there, you must become powerful. So you not only should become powerful on the spiritual and contribution. Spirituality is about contribution. If somebody is asking me what is spirituality, I will not say go and meditate in Himalayas. Go and do worship in temple. Meditation, according to me, is for the purpose of spirituality, that is for the contribution. What you love, if you meditate on, you become a dynamic personality. You become a dynamic personality that will transform your ideas and ways in which you are going to transform the world at large. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to learn new ideas. I was very clear. For the first 10 years, I'll be a chartered accountant. Later, I wanted to become a lawyer and work on the areas of expertise to help the people, also on the areas of taxation. So that idea worked in me. So I'm very sure you should have goals, you should have timelines in your life so that you can transform, and do not compare yourself with anybody. Because if you compare yourself with somebody, you are getting to the level of them and you are not working towards exploring your uniqueness. Very, very important. Uniqueness. These are the ideas of Swamiji which inspired. And my dear friends, today many IAS officers in this nation, many political leaders whom you admire, whether they are theists or atheists, everybody has read, everybody was inspired by Swami Vivekananda. I not only read the ideas of national leaders, I read the ideas of even the leaders of the state. If I went through the ideas of Indira Gandhi, whatever Mrs. Indira Gandhi, what about the transformation she brought? Every leader has done positive thing and negative thing. Leave the negative thing away. Leave those list of things what was not acceptable. Look at all those things what is acceptable to all the people. Look at the positive things. When I see that impact of Swami Vivekananda is there in all the positive things. Impact of Swami Vivekananda was there in all the positive things. I was reading the evolution of the Dravidian movement. Everybody who started with an ideology had a purpose and reason to start. Even they were inspired by Swami Vivekananda's quotation. I went through the Dravidian movement. I went through the ideas of the Dravidian movement, where Swami Vivekananda has spoken great thing about Tamil race. I'm going to quote that today, which is quoted in the Dravidian movement. So can you become a personality who will be an Ajata Chatru for all ideologies? Whether he is a communist, whether he is from BJP, whether he is from Congress, whether he is from Dravidian movement or any party, can he become your friend? Can you have a conversation with him? If you are able to do that, you are a Vivekananda's person. If you are not able to do that, don't even touch the photograph of Vivekananda. You should be acceptable by all. You should be acceptable by all. You should have a conversation. Nobody is a permanent enemy. You need to have the conversation. You need to have the conversation. Have a conversation with all. Don't fix yourself on a particular ideology. You're all professionals. You're all professionals. Don't fix yourself on a particular ideology. What is important is you raised your potential, ideologies will support you automatically. Ideas will support you. Become a trusted person. Everybody will come and speak to you. Very, very important. So, my dear friends, the fanatic idea should not get into mind. That is what the idea of Swami Vivekananda. He said, I thank you in the name of millions and millions of Hindu people of all classes and sects. All classes and sects. My dear friends, he always opposed. He was okay with sects. He was okay with the class. He was okay with class. He was okay with sect. But he was not okay with sectarianism. He was not okay with casteism. He said, caste is fine, but casteism is not. Sect is fine, not sectarianism. Very, very important. Any ism will make you a fanatic. Any ism will make you a fanatic. Don't get into the disease of ism, but you become a person who can actually include everybody, my dear friends. I have good friends in Communist Party. I have good friends in DMK. I have very good friends in ADMK. I have very good friends in Bharatiya Janata Party. I have very good friends in Congress. I have a debate. I have a conversation with them. They all like me. I've never seen them saying, we don't accept your ideas. It's all about convincing. It's all about providing that kind of a justification what you stand for. So it is very, very important. You should embrace the ideas. You should realize the ideas, and what you realize, you should be having the conviction. That is very, very important. My dear friends, I want to quote the next important paragraph of Swami Vivekananda. My thanks also to some of the speakers on this platform who referring to the delegate from the Orient have told you that these men are from far off nations may well claim the honor of bearing to different lands the idea of toleration. My dear friends, I am proud to belong to a religion. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. Both tolerance and universal acceptance. I used to ask my students who are studying under me, I used to ask them a simple question. Today you are talking about food habits. You are talking about food habits in India. But you are saying which food is superior, which food is not superior. You have a debate and you fix the sanctity and purity. But whereas the same person, when he goes to Middle East to work, the same person when he goes to America to work, you go for a party in a 5-star hotel, you don't talk about all those things. But why do you talk when you are in India? Because you wanted to show you are elite, you are in the high pedestal. Nobody is. Swami Vivekananda broke everything through his complete works. You must read all the 7 volumes of complete works. He broke all this conditioning. He broke all this conditioning. One important thing which I already mentioned to you is about religion should not enter into the kitchen. As simple as that. Should not enter into the kitchen. So my dear friends, he also said, we believe not only in the universal toleration, but we accept all religion as true. That is the idea of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Jadopad, Tadopad. All the religions leads to the same destination. People call you secular, okay, secular. People call you as an accepting person, no problem. Today, the idea of the universal toleration, the idea of universal acceptance is now part of the Constitution of India brought by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Constitution is not theocratic. Constitution of India is not theocratic. At the same time, Constitution of India is not anti-religion. Constitution of India is neutral on the religion. At the same time, it ensured people who have been deprived in the name of religion over a period of time should raise and provide it an advantage after we get the independence. Why did we get the independence? To shift the leadership from the Britishers to the elite of this nation? No. But we got the independence to provide equal opportunity to all the people, the humblest of the origin. The humblest of the origin can even raise to become the prime ministers of this nation. This is a democratic country. This is a democratic country. That is the reason the Constitution of India stands on acceptance. We may say secular, we may say socialist. Yes, it is. But what is the spirit of secularism and what is the spirit of socialism was conveyed by Swami Vivekananda in the speech. He talks about universal acceptance. The Constitution is about acceptance. Accept everyone. Don't bring religion and try to divide India in the name of any religion. So that this nation will stand as a model for the entire world. As a model to the entire world. Even in the judgment that we got on Ayodhya verdict, if you see, there is an idea of acceptance. Both Ram Bhakti is also there and Rahim Bhakti is also there in the judgment. Both Ram Bhakti is also there, but Rahim Bhakti is also there. When the judgment was pronounced, I could be able to read from the judgment that there is also a land which is allocated to our Muslim brothers and sisters, and Ayodhya will stand as a place of acceptance. Place of acceptance. Place of acceptance. This is a great model that we have created today for the entire world, my dear friends. These are things that should inspire all of you. These are the things that should inspire all of you. So, my dear friends, this is the solution. India is a solution to the world. India is a solution to the world. Don't try to divide India on any other basis, because after 100 years, if you try to polarize today, you will regret the polarization model, because what can stand long is the model of India brought by Bharat Ratna, Baba Sahib, Dr. Bhimarao Ramji Ambedkar. My dear friends, the Constitution of India had the spirit of Swami Vivekananda, because Ambedkar himself has said, Dr. Ambedkar himself has said, the greatest leader of the 20th century is Swami Vivekananda. That's what he has said. Is one of his, I would like to quote from one of his paragraphs. So that is the kind of inspiration he has got from Swamiji himself. So, but we accept all religion. We believe not only in the universal toleration, but we accept all religion as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted, very important, and the refugees of all religions. Refugees of all. It has given a space for every religion. Today, you look at the Tibetan community, our brothers of the Tibetan community. They are from Tibet. Today, they are in India. They have got this, we are treating them. Aditi Devo Bhava. Treat every guest as the god. The same philosophy is there in Tamil Nadu also. In Tamil, in Sanskrit, the Indian system, even Tirukural talks about how do you have to treat the guest. You have to treat the guest as God. So, my dear friends, accordingly, I am proud to tell you that we have gathered in our bosom the purest rampant of the Israelis who came to southern India and took refuge with us in very year in which their holy temple was shattered to pieces by Roman tyranny. I am proud to belong to the religion which has sheltered and is still fostering the remnant of the great Zoroastrian nation. I will quote to you, brethren, a few lines from the hymn which I remember to have repeated from my earliest boyhood, which is every day repeated by millions of human beings. As the different streams having their sources in different places, all mingle their water in the sea. So, O Lord, the different paths which men take through different tendencies, various though they appear, crooked or straight, all lead to thee. This was the idea of Swami Vivekananda. This was the idea of Swami Vivekananda. The present convention, which is one of the most august assemblies ever held, in itself is a vindication, a declaration to the world of the wonderful doctrine preached in the Gita. Whosoever comes to me in through whatever form I reach him, all men are struggling through paths which in the end lead to me. Sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant, fanaticism, have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. But their time has come, and I fervently hope that the bell that tolled in this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword and with the pen, and of all uncharitable feeling between persons mending their way to the same goal. My dear friends, this was the idea given by Swami Vivekananda on September 11, 1893. This is pronounced, the same idea was pronounced in one of the judgment in Adi Sivacharyagal Nalasangam, which is state of Tamil Nadu. This is the judgment. I quote, it said, Hinduism as a religion incorporates all forms of belief, without mandating the selection or elimination of any one single belief. Whether you pray Rama, whether you pray to Muniswaran, whether you pay to any god, Muruga, doesn't matter. All the beliefs are accepted. The ways are different. The rituals are different. Your way of life is different. India is a multicultural society. We should not try and aim to bring oneness in this nation with respect to the belief system. Very, very important. We should not try to do that. If you try to do that, the cultural degradation will happen. For example, in Andaman Nicobar Islands, you have sentinel tribes who are there in island. If you go and try to change their way, I think that is not the civilization. What is civilization? Is about including their ways as part of the inclusive civilization. What is important is inclusive civilization. Don't go and say that your way of life is more superior to them. In fact, when tsunami came, sentinel tribes escaped tsunami. They went to the top of the mountains. Do you think they don't know about science and technology? I doubt. But how did they know about tsunami? That's a question. Even the sentinel tribes near Andaman Nicobar Islands, one of the islands. So you must understand, they're also part of India. They're also our brothers and sisters. Their ways, their civilization also to be protected. Let's not fight on language, whether Sanskrit is great or Tamil is great. If the both languages are providing greatness, let us take both. It's not about the greatness of two. It is about from the language what you learn to transform yourself. That is very, very important. The pride of the language is about you realizing what you have to achieve. So it's very, very important. I always see people fighting with Sanskrit and Tamil. People saying Sanskrit is the oldest and Tamil is the oldest. Yes, it is the oldest. Tamil could be the oldest language. Yes, it is. We don't deny. But at the same time, goodness should be heard. Wherever the goodness comes, it is very, very important to be taken. That's very, very important. It has been described as another dharma, namely eternal faith, and it is a collective wisdom and inspiration of the centuries that Hinduism seeks to preach and propagate. Hinduism encompasses wide expanse of beliefs, thoughts, and forms of worship without any divergence or friction within itself and amongst its adherents. Image worship is a predominant feature of Hindu religion. This was the case. This was a judgment. This was one of the paragraphs in the judgment I quoted. Why did I give this? To tell you that it is very, very important to accept everybody as they are and do not try to change them with your belief system. Very, very important. The effort should not be changed to them, but it's about inclusive civilization. So what is worrying to me in the recent times, many of the initiatives are taken by the government to, whether it is with respect to the food habits where they try to come and involve, that should not be taken up. We must understand no culture is superior, no culture is inferior. Everything stands on the same platform. We have to respect the humblest origin of this country. We should provide education to the extent where what success I got, what success you got, the same success everybody should get around us. To an extent, we should empower the people. That is the reason education is the most important thing what Swamiji spoke. And Swamiji spoke about the important aspect of our society, important gender of our society, woman. He always said, just the birds cannot fly with one wing. The bird needs two wings to fly. Similarly, to for the humanity to progress, we need two wings to two. We need both women and men. Just the way a bird cannot fly with one wing, it has to have two wings to fly. Similarly, humanity should have both women and men to progress. Accordingly, what Swamiji gave as an idea about women is give them education, let them decide what they want. So what he exactly spoke is not women empowerment alone. What Swami Vivekananda spoke is about women-led development. What Swami Vivekananda spoke is about women-led development, my dear friends, women-led development. So today, if you see under the Constitution of India, I would like to quote Article 15. Article 15 talks about prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. I repeat, Article 15, prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. This is the article. But if you see the same article, Article 15, Clause 3, Article 15, Clause 3 of the same article, it says nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. So it is a very clear indication that the idea of Swamiji has worked here. What the idea and philosophy Swamiji gave, that women has to be provided education, women has to be provided the required motivation, is brought even under the Constitution of India, under Article 15, Clause 3 of the Constitution of India, which says that nothing in this article with respect to discrimination shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. My dear friends, what does it mean? Under the Constitution of India, for two people, one is a woman and for children, the positive discrimination is allowed. Very, very important. Positive discrimination is allowed. So what we need to understand, state as per Article 12 of the Constitution of India, state as per Article 12 of the Constitution of India can bring positive discrimination for the women and children under Article 15, Clause 3 of the Constitution of India. So it provides an opportunity for the state to give the required benefit to lift the women and ensure them they become not only human resources, they also become economic resources. So my dear friends, even the idea of Swami Vivekananda with respect to women education, women getting the women being treated equally, with the quotation of that bird example. So all these things have happened in the Constitution of India, and you would have seen recently Tamil Nadu government has come out with an announcement as part of their government policy that women police officials need not stand on the road. I welcome this. When I actually posted about this, many people said that why are you supporting this idea of this Tamil Nadu government when they are not treating the women equally? Please understand, the state has brought this policy not to ensure that women are not treated equally. In fact, they are trying to say that women should be put on more important works in the police department rather than standing on the road. You and me, we may not like our brothers and sisters, our sisters and women who are sisters to stand on the road. But the government also thought the same. They thought new technologies like artificial intelligence, technology orientation, law and order issues which can be done from the in the police from the buildings of the law and order department can be done by the women, and they thought they should be provided this opportunity because it can attract more women in the future in the police department if this work is more attractive. I hope you can understand. That was the intention in which the state brought it. So similarly, if you see under the central government also, Government of India, Prime Minister brought a scheme called Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, where it was clearly said that if a person wants to get a loan under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, the land has to be in the name of the woman. What does it mean? Again, Article 15, Clause 3, that positive discrimination has been used and it is constitutional. My dear friends, this is a way that you as a legal professionals were all going to be the torch bearers of the country's transformation, not only in the courtrooms of India, but also in the policy making ideas. You should be able to impact many more. My dear friends, you all know there are three aspects in India. One is the legislative, two is executive, three is judiciary. My dear friends, legislative passes the act, executive implements the law with the delegated legislation, and it issues the executive orders. But ultimately, when there is a confusion in the law, it has been raised in the judiciary. And you are the people who go and interpret. You are the people who find the constitutional remedies under Article 226 of the Constitution of India and Article 32 of the Constitution of India. Whether it is a public interest litigation, whether it is a writ petition questioning the government, or it is the judicial review. Everything is possible using your legal profession. My dear friends, the opportunities, the sky is the opportunity. You have the opportunities on your way. Sky is the limit for the work you can do. But what is important is inspiration and philosophical background, so that you develop cognitive ability over a period of time, so that could actually become a contribution to the people. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm very sure these kind of initiatives taken by youth like Abhishek Castro, along with this team, supported by his team here, whom I can see here, Sailaja, Nirsa, Vidale Virimbi, Prashant, Harish, Akshaya, Aditya Murthy, Roshan, Uma Maheshwaran. I can see many of his supporters gathered here for this program. And I'm sure you people, being the host of this program, under the leadership of Abhishek Castro, you will take this country forward in many ideas. I'm very sure, I'm very confident. And have a passion. You should be a flame, you should be a fire on whatever the areas you are in. When you're walking in, that knowledge is immortal. Knowledge is immortal. Please understand. You are mortal, but your knowledge is not mortal. It is immortal. Knowledge is immortal. The judgments you stand, when you are going to the court, you argue on a case, and that should become a landmark judgment. That should become a landmark judgment in this country. Take up those cases. Raise up those issues, wherein your name will stand forever. Today, our hero in the legal fraternity, Nani Palkiwala's name is reflected on a day-to-day basis in the boardrooms when they discuss law, courtrooms when the decisions are made, and lawyers and youngsters are inspired by people like Nani Palkiwala. My dear friends, how many of them know Nani Palkiwala wanted to become a professor in the college, but he could not become a professor. He could not become a professor. He had a stammering when he was in younger age. He used to run on the Marine Drive to ensure that his stammering, he used to shout on the Marine Drive and run so that his stammering goes away. That was written in his Courtroom Genius book. You must read that. He did that. His passion was to become a professor, English professor. But when he was not able to get into English professor, he chose the legal profession. And rest is the history, my dear friends. Rest is the history. We need more Nani Palkiwalas. Have you seen his budget speeches? He never comes to appreciate the government. He used to take each and every amendment brought there, and he used to convey the spirit of that amendment. When there is a mistake, there is a mistake. When there is a good thing happening, it is a good thing. And his ideas, his thought process is completely different. Positions came in search of him. Position came in search of him. You should not go in search of your positions. The position should come in search of him. Your knowledge should be such unique. You should not fight on the red ocean. You must try to strike in the excellence in the blue ocean. Very, very important. Don't fight in the red ocean. Try to put up your path. Try to charter your own path. You should build your own bridges. Don't travel on those bridges which was built by others. You should be unique. You should travel long. And the profession that you have taken, law profession, as an opportunity. Until the last breath, you have the opportunity to contribute to the people around you. Don't forget that. Don't build narrow walls around you. Don't build narrow walls around you. Explore, try. Explore, try, and see what actually gives you that fire. You should be a flame. Your life should be like a flame. And I'm sure that is what should bring that is what should happen. That inspiration should come from student forums like this. Whenever there's an opportunity to address students, many of my professional colleagues says, you have so much qualification, you have so much of knowledge, which is very useful to the professionals around. But I'm always there to serve. I use the word called serve my students' community, because I believe the change and the igniting the student community batch by batch. I'm very sure this transformation is what we need. Whether you work on a local idea, whether you work on a global idea, but you must believe on that idea. You must believe on that idea. You must believe on that idea. You should take up higher roles. If you're pursuing your LLB now, you must know the examination conducted in by the government. You can get into judicial services. You should try for getting into the IAS. You should try for getting into IFS. You should try to become IPS officers. There are so many government positions that are open. You should go and try to impact the policies of the government departments. I'm sure the knowledge of law will actually put you at an edge when you become a part of the executive. If you're not able to get into the executive, don't worry. Still, the opportunity is there to impact in the judicial reforms. You can raise to become, if you believe, one day you can also become the Chief Justice of this nation. Possible with this profession. Possible. You'll stand at par with the legislative, executive, and judiciary. So you have the potential. Believe in yourself. You can do it. My dear friends, I also wanted to reflect the idea stated in Keshav Bharati case. There's a state of Kerala. Our constitution, Keshavananda Bharati case, there's a state of Kerala. Our constitution is a federal constitution with the basic unitary features. Independence of the judiciary is the beauty of Indian constitution. Is the beauty of the Indian constitution. Independence of the judiciary is the beauty of the Indian constitution. Never ever hesitate to raise questions on the public issue. Never ever hesitate. You have been given the power to transform your idea, what you think in the desk today. If you are able to go and impact to your, if you are able to defend, if you are able to proceed with the case, and if you win that case, you may even impact millions. You can impact millions. Take for example, our own Dr. Ambedkar. The idea of social justice was only at talks before 1947, before 1950. The Constituent Assembly debated in length. How do you bring the distributed social justice? And Ambedkar, Dr. Ambedkar was vested with the responsibility of drafting the constitution. How many of them know Bharat Ratna, Baba Sahib, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? His library is one of the largest private library in the world even today. He was the first economics graduate from the Columbia University. How many of them know that his idea, the problem of the rupee, is the idea which gave the roots for incorporating Reserve Bank of India? How many of them know this? My dear friends, you should become a personality like Ambedkar. You should. You should know what our icon of Constitution of India stood for. It is very important. You must read and understand what was his empathy towards the people of this country. He didn't speak for one sect or particular segment. He spoke for everybody. Today, India is a sovereign nation with integrity. India is one country because of the Constitution of India. Because of the Constitution of India. Because of the idea and the vision of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had debates and discussion, not with just legal people from the legal profession when he brought Constitution of India. He had conversation and debates with the political leaders who work in the grassroots level of this country. Please understand. From Omandur Ramasamy Reddyar to C. Subramaniam to people from political leaders and from different religion came and from different regions of this nation was part of the Constituent Assembly. My dear friends, they debated and discussed for 3 years continuously before they brought this constitution. We got independence on 15th August 1947, and Dr. Ambedkar gave his closing remarks on 26th November 1949. It is very, very important to read the speech of Dr. Ambedkar on what he spoke about constitution on 26th November 1949. For example, constitution in the hands of Abhishek and the constitution in the hands of Satya Kumar, the way it functions is not the same. It's very important. We must elect leaders who will actually hold not only their religious values, but more important is to uphold the constitutional values. For me, my religion is Constitution of India. Constitution of India. The values of the Constitution is the way of my life. My dear friends, each and every youth who is pursuing legal profession, who is aspiring to be in the legal profession, your values should be constitutional values. Your values should be constitutional values. And if you uphold those constitutional values, you will live your life more purposeful. My dear friends, when the debate on distributed social justice happened, Dr. Ambedkar worked on a very, very scientific model of reservation. When the matter of reservation comes, I always support reservation. Always support. Until my last breath, I will support the reservation. Because reservation is not a poverty alleviation program. Reservation is a representation. I want my brothers and sisters who are deprived for a long time in this nation to raise, and I want to feel happy to see them in the leadership position. I want to garland them in the powerful positions of this nation. And reservation is representation. Reservation is not a poverty alleviation program. Please understand, you must give this clarion call to those leaders who are trying to disturb the system of reservation. System of reservation. Whenever you have a doubt about reservation, try to open the book and read ideas given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. My dear friends, if Dr. B.R. Ambedkar would have thought, he would have become the Prime Minister of this nation. He had the capacity, he had the potential, he had the qualification. But that was not the objective of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The objective of Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was to bring a nice fabric of this nation and see that the nation progresses over a period of time without any issues in the civic rights over a period of time. Today, there's a hope for my brother and my sister in the mountains who are tribals to raise in this nation, because Constitution provides Article 14, right of equality. Everybody is equal before the law. Everybody is equal in this nation. My dear friends, this is very, very important. Reservation is a distributed justice, distributed social justice. Please understand. And when you are reading about reservation, it is very, very important. You must tell all those people who are talking that reservation should go away. Whoever is talking about it, you should tell them that you enjoy social capital until my brothers and sisters from the rural part of this nation, belonging to different segment and sects and caste, get that social capital. This reservation should provide. And reservation and affirmative action is the only way India can progress in the future. My dear friends, the reservation, when Ambedkar brought this, Dr. Ambedkar brought this, was only in the government segment. I am someone who always said reservation should also come to private sector. Private sector, affirmative action should come to the private sector. It is a responsibility of HR department to raise our people of different ethnicity. Not just the employment should go only to a particular segment of people. The education that goes to a particular segment should also go to the last mile citizen of my country. This is what Mother India wants. This is what Mother India wants. This is what should be the essence of the distributed social justice. Today, if Ambedkar is there, we will have a topic on one day. What will Ambedkar do? If Bharat Ratna Dr. Ambedkar is alive today, what will he do? He will further re-engineer the reservation system to an extent to where internal reallocation will happen. In OBC, you would categorize the OBC into urban OBC, rural OBC. He will even categorize the SC, ST into urban and rural and first generation, graduate, all those things he might bring. Reservation is a great model to awaken the masses, the vision of Swami Vivekananda. Awaken the masses. The opportunity you get should also go to the last mile citizen of this nation. I think this should be the inspiration that you should take. With Vivekananda, we can all unite. Please don't make him a leader of a particular religion. He's a global icon. His ideas are very transformational. Rockefeller has got inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Tata has got inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Nicholas Tesla has got inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Max Muller has got inspired by Swami Vivekananda. I have literatures with me where Swami Vivekananda has inspired many people in Japan. Swami Vivekananda has traveled to China, that is Hong Kong, and he has got inspired by China at that point of time. Swami Vivekananda has traveled to Kanyakumari, he has traveled to Almora. A man he is a social scientist and a spiritual entrepreneur. Don't make him as just a monk. He's just not a monk. He's beyond. He's beyond. Instead of worshipping Swami Vivekananda, you take the spirit of his writings and his message within you, and you see the energy and the ideas that flows out of you will be more acceptable, more powerful. That is what makes the leader to be a leader of the masses. My dear friends, with your legal profession, I'm very sure that you can transform many people's life, and I'm very sure you can transform many things in this nation by impacting the policies. There are two ways of impacting the policies. One, to inspire the executive, which I always do. I go and meet the minister or the IAS officer. I tell them this is how you should do it. Even I have interacted with the present finance secretary for the Ministry of Finance when he was a GST commissioner of Tamil Nadu. He has even given an appreciation letter of what I've spoken about the GST. So why I'm giving, there are two ways of impact. One, you go and speak and inspire the executive, give ideas on transformation. If that is not happening, the best way is to go through the judicial process. You still have writ petitions. You still have the public interest litigation. Look at the landmark judgment that was brought in this nation, Keshavananda Bharati case. That fixed what is our constitution. It is a federal constitution with the unitary features. That was fixed there. Golaknath case. What can be amended in the constitution? What cannot be amended in the constitution is fixed in Golaknath case. My dear friends, this country is going to have landmark judgments. The question is, are you going to be part of it? Are you the counsel for it? That's the question I'm raising to you. Can you all become that lawyers whom this country will celebrate at the end of your career? Even after your career, even after you, your idea should travel far. That is what we leave. That is where you should spend your life for. I'm very sure people like youths like you should also be inspired on all these ideas. My dear friends, when I say this, I wanted to quote the quotation of Buji Shenoy. Buji Shenoy, this is a poem written by him. I want to quote, you must listen to this quotation. You must. And I assure you, after I quote this, there will be electric shocks happening in you, which would have transformed you within another 1 minute. My dear friends, he said, I quote, when I die, give my sight to the man who has never seen a sunrise. Give my sight to the man who has never seen a sunrise. Give my heart to one who has known the agony of the heart. Give my blood to a youth pulled from the wreckage of a car so that he might live to see his grandchildren play. Let my kidneys drain the poison from another's body. Let my bones be used to make a crippled child walk. Burn what is left of me. Burn what is left of me, and scatter the ashes to the wind to let the flowers grow. If you must bury something, let it be my faults, my prejudices against my fellow men. Give my sins to the devil. Give my soul to the God. If you wish to remember me, do it with a kind deed or word to someone who needs you. If you do all I've asked, I will live forever with all of you. My dear friends, this should be the motto. This should be your life. You must pull your socks up, race in this nation. This nation remember you for what you stand for. Let you be the transformer of these policies of this country. And I'm very sure I'll meet you in the courtrooms in the future. I'll always address my students as not my students. I address them as my professional colleagues. It's a matter of time. You'll be opposing me. It's a matter of time. We'll be having a discussion. It's a matter of time that we're all going to be together in the courtrooms and the boardrooms of this nation. Why? We will also be in the parliament in the future, if the God provides that opportunity. So you have that vision. Have that vision of treating and lifting people up. You are my professional colleagues. What I know, you may. What I don't know, you may know. What you don't know, I may know. Come halfway, you come halfway, I come halfway. We'll exchange. We'll get that synergy. My dear friends, respect everyone, treat everyone equally, and ensure that you form the synergy. And that will be the energy to transform this nation. And I'm sure that you will do this with a lot of conviction and courage and consideration. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you so much, people of tomorrow. And so thank you so much. It's a great day for me. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful, inspiring, igniting, and such a great speech. Really melted my heart, and such a great address. And it is not just a speech, it is a great treasure for us. It is a great treasure for my foundation. And really, such a wonderful speech. You have covered the constitutional values, and you have upholded the oneness of India, and lot of values, lot of views you have shared with us. This is really highly inspiring. And this speech, I'm damn sure this will inspire and it will energize many souls, many generations. I'm damn sure. Such a wonderful speech, sir. Really, we are highly inspired by the way you have spoken. And really, I'm very much thankful to you. Thank you for accepting my invitation in the midst of your busy schedule. So I always admire you. I always feel happy when I go through your profile. And you are not a normal person. When I see the way you have spoken, really you are intellectual. You are not a learner. You are a great person, and you are not a great man. You are an eminent person. So in such a way, we are very happy to host you today. I take immense pleasure and privilege to thank you. And now I would like to share my experience with Swami Vivekananda. Now we are entering into the very interactive session. All through my life, from my childhood, when I was in the age of 8, I started to read Swami Vivekananda's book. And I have completed his complete works. I have finished all the works of Swami Vivekananda. His quotes and his quotations always used to ignite me and always used to quill-drive me towards the success and progress. And I was the school topper from my first standard to full standard. And in my college also, I am a university distinction rank holder. I have received a lot of awards, national level, international level, lot of progress I have done. It's all because of Swami's guidance and his teachings, his values, whatever he has given to me in my life. So in such a way, always Swami is the only hope for the Indian youths and the youths across the world. This is what I felt. Whenever I am broken, whenever I am sad, whenever I am feeling low, I always capture the hands of Swami. That really helped me to progress. That has really helped me to scale to great heights. So in such a way, I'm very much thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable presence.
Thank you.
Presence. And now I would like to request the participants to interact with sir and ask your questions. It's my humble request to the participants. You can ask your questions. Participants, you can ask your questions to sir. You can share your experience with Swami Vivekananda. Now we are entering into an interactive session. So I would like to request the participants to share your views. Harish, you can share your views. Vidudala, you can share your views. And Umesh, you can share your views. Prashant, you can share your views. If you're interested, you can share your views. Anything?
Sir, vanakkam, sir.
Please switch on your video and audio, please.
Yes, sir.
You can switch on your video and audio. You can directly interact with sir. You're not audible. Can you speak? Switch on your video and speak. Yes, Vidudalai, yes, carry on.
Sir. Sir, சார் இந்த விவேகானந்த ஐயாவை பத்தி எனக்கு உண்மையிலேயே விவேகானந்தர் பத்தி தெரியாதுங்க சார். மோஸ்டா எனக்கு வந்து அவரோட அந்த வால்யூம் புக்ஸ் சொன்னீங்க, அவரோட கோட் சொன்னீங்க, அதெல்லாம் நான் படிச்சது கூட கிடையாது சார் இன்ன வரைக்கும். ஒரு லைவ் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸா தான் சார் இருந்தது நீங்க சொன்னது எல்லாம். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது சார். அப்புறம் அபிஷேக் கேஸ்ட்ரோ ப்ரோ வந்து சொன்னாரு, என் லைஃப்ல வந்து நான் இந்த மாதிரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி டாப்பர் ரேங்க் இதெல்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி வாங்கினது காரணமே ஐயாவோட அந்த வேர்ட்ஸ் தான் மெயின் ரீசன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாரு. ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார் இந்த செஷன். ஒரு யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது, ஒரு எப்படி ஒரு பவர்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது சார். எனக்கு ஒரு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தது, ஒரு மைண்ட் ரிலாக்ஸேஷனா இருந்தது சார். ஏதோ ஒரு புதுசா ஒரு விஷயம் கேட்ட மாதிரி இருந்தது சார். ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் சார் சொன்னது.
Thank you, Vidudalai.
Sir, another important thing, the values what we have gained and extracted from the session is that the ultimate purpose of this acquiring this education is to serve the society. This is very, very important. As you told, become an IAS, become a legislator, become a lawmaker, and then go to executive, go to judiciary, make judicial reforms. So it's all are connecting into one point that the ultimate aim of acquiring this education is to serve the society. Whatever the way we have to contribute, a selfless mind, a true spirit, and then the commitment towards the work what we are doing. So this is a great message you have conveyed through this session. This is really a great message. And really, you have covered every perspective, constitutional values, you have upheld the idea of India, the unity in diversity, and then you have connected B.R. Ambedkar, other great inspirational icons who inspired by Swami Vivekananda. In such a way, this was a wonderful session. Now, I would like to request another speaker, another participant to speak to sir to get some answers prepared. Harish, you can speak, Harish. You can share your views on the session. Prashant, you can share your views on the session. Umesh, you can share your views on the session. Anything else? If you want to interact and if you want to share, you can share it. It's my humble request to you.
Sir, கேக்குதா அது?
கேக்குது.
Yes, you can switch on your video and audio. Yes.
Hello.
கேக்குதுப்பா.
Yes.
Sir, ஸ்பீச் ரொம்ப நல்லாவே இருந்துச்சு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க சொன்னீங்க don't bring a religion to the kitchen. அது ரொம்ப இன்ஸ்பைரிங்கா இருந்துச்சு. ஒரு கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் விவேகானந்த சாரோட ஐயாவோட ஐடியாவை கொண்டு வந்து நீங்க பேசினது அது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் புதுசாகவும் இருந்துச்சு, நல்லாவும் இருந்துச்சு. லாஸ்டா சொன்னீங்களே caste is good is bad and sectionalism is bad, அந்த வேர்ட்ஸ் ரொம்ப ஸ்பீச் நல்லா இருந்துச்சு சார். கொஞ்சம் இன்ஸ்பைரிங்கா இருந்துச்சு. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார். அதான்
Thank you so much, Aditya. So now we are coming to the conclusion. So really, it was an inspiring session, sir. Thank you so much for making your valuable presence with us. And before concluding, I would like to thank all the participants for your presence. And really, you all have strengthened our hands, and really, you all have supported us like anything in all our missions, in all our initiatives, in all our webinars, in all our programs. And really, this session, I assure to sir now, this video we have recorded, we have uploaded in the YouTube channel, and we will be sharing this video to all the youngsters in many institutions, colleges, and various academies and the various forums, the UPSC aspirants and the college students across India. We will be sharing it. I assure this to sir. And I am damn sure this video will strengthen the weak. This video will empower the people, those who are suffering through poverty, those who are broken. Sure, this video will empower. So I thank sir sincerely for delivering such a inspiring, such a igniting, such a powerful speech in this webinar. Thank you so much to all the
Thank you,
participants.
Abhishek.
I sincerely thank to my junior, Vidudalai Virumbi, such a promising person, Vidudalai Virumbi, and to Harish and the people of Tomorrow Trust. Really, they all have supported me in arranging this national webinar by bringing Sir as the chief guest and a keynote speaker of this evening. Thank you so much, Harish, and thank you so much, Vidudalai. All the best for all your future endeavors. Be blessed abundantly. And thank you so much, sir. We are winding up the session.
Thank you.
Maybe,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so much, sir. I will stay connected, and all the best for all your future endeavors, sir. Be blessed.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Thank you so much.